We have New York Post journalist Miranda Devine here to talk us through the backstory of Biden's laptop scandal. And she's also writing a book about the laptop called The Laptop from Hell. Miranda, walk me through it. Was this all Russian disinformation?
Well, I mean, that was a scandal. You had 50 former spooks, basically people like John Brennan and James Clapper and George Tenet. I mean, these people have been responsible for some of America's worst intelligence failures, starting with failing to heed warnings about 9/11, dreaming up these WMDs that Saddam Hussein never had as a pretext for the Iraq War, right up to the Russia collusion hoax that they foisted on the country and tried to hobble the Trump administration with and Donald Trump, which all turned out to be untrue, completely a lie. And then, I mean, why anyone gives them any credibility after that track record, they turn around and on zero evidence claim in their expert opinion that the laptop and our story is Russian disinformation. Well, I can tell you the laptop was real. It belonged to Hunter Biden. He was in the middle of one of his many crack benders. He dropped it off. It was waterlogged at this Mac repair shop in Delaware, and then went off to for another bender in LA and never came back to pick it up. It became the property of the owner of the shop, and eventually within a year or so found its way to former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who ended up ringing me up one Saturday night and offering it to me. So there you go. That's the story. The information that my colleague there, Emma Jo, managed to glean out of the laptop has never been refuted. Nobody has ever, none of the Bidens have ever said, no, that's not the laptop, that information is not true. We've also verified the emails and other information on the laptop by cross-referencing them with Tony Bobulinski, who was a former business partner of Hunter's. He handed over 3 of his phones to the Wall Street Journal and the FBI. The contents of those marry up perfectly with the contents of the laptop. And then there's a third point of light, which is the Senate inquiry into Hunter Biden's business dealings overseas. Again, a perfect match. And there's another group of information, which is a guy called Bevan Cooney, another former business partner of Hunter Biden, now in jail, as a lot of his business partners do end up in jail or disappeared if they're from China. And he's also handed over to other journalists a treasure trove of his entire computer contents. So it is irrefutable, and that's why you see Hunter Biden in these interviews for his own book dissembling, pretending, making out that he can't remember because he was on crack, but he can remember when he had his first glass of wine at the age of 8.
Well, there you go, straight from the woman who received the laptop herself from Rudy. Gemma, what do you make of the way that this was covered from a journalistic side to see the ABC when they didn't get the laptop, they didn't have the laptop, they had no way of knowing either way, but then they choose to discredit it, what I assume must be for political reasons. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I try to make a point of never assuming, but it certainly isn't encouraging when there is such clear publication bias. And I've said this before, Jack, every organisation under the sun has a degree of bias because every organisation is made up of humans who are not robots. However, that doesn't negate us from doing our jobs as journalists, which is to be fair and accurate. That is the fundamental role of everybody who calls themselves a journalist, fairness and accuracy. And the coverage of this story has just been, I mean, if it wasn't so serious, it would be laughable because it's literally the dog ate my homework answer from Hunter Biden. Like we're asked to believe his preposterous explanations in the face of incredible and really compelling evidence to the contrary. To Miranda's point, do you honestly think that if none of this stuff that has been reported wasn't true, that he wouldn't be filing for some kind of defamation or taking some sort of restrictive legal action if there wasn't absolute truth to it? The reporting of this story has been as I said, disappointingly one-sided in the face of compelling evidence to the contrary.
Well said. And Miranda, I cannot wait to read your book because I'm sure you're going to lay it all out forensically. Well done. Congratulations on the scoop for the Post, and good on you for sticking by it even when the social media giants were trying to censor you guys and blocking your accounts. I'm very glad that you didn't delete the Post and you held your ground. It was very, very good to see. And fortunately, that's all the time we've got for this panel.
Thanks, Jack.
But thank you both for joining me. Miranda Devine, Gemma Tognini.